Hear that, boys? We're just barely into the show and my tummy is already growling. Let's head down to MarcyJo's and see what they're cooking today. Y'all come on in. Sit wherever you want.
Owning a restaurant is a real blessing, but it's also a lot of hard work.
Yes, it is.
From keeping great employees, putting in all the hours that you put in here, and then also making sure that the customer is always happy.
Yes, that's most important because customers come first.
That's right.
That's what I've, that's the way it should be.
But because Marcy and I are sister-in-laws, it is a family-owned business. Our daughters work here throughout the summer and pretty much full-time, one does.
Right.
And then your daughters have come in and helped as well.
They've come in and helped, yeah.
And then, of course, your mom has been a huge blessing.
Oh, yeah, Mom's wonderful. I love it because Mom she just wants to help with whatever. She'll come in, she'll wash dishes, she'll bust tables, but she is a really great baker, and I learned from her how to bake. And one of her favorites is what we're going to show you today. It's called a banana nut bread with praline frosting.
Now, I thought my mom had a great banana nut bread recipe.
Mine was better.
Yes, it was. So let's go ahead and get started with what we're going to be cooking here today. In here, Marcy has the dry ingredients. What you have in there?
I do. I've got flour, and I've got soda. Your baking soda and your salt and your baking powder. And you've got the wet ingredients over there.
So I've got the butter, the 2 eggs, buttermilk, vanilla, lots of sugar, and then we're going to cut up a couple bananas here.
Okay.
Get those going. Here's your fork right there. Every time I smell bananas being mashed up, I think of little babies.
Aww.
For some reason, I guess because Mom always fed bananas to my little sister, and my sister was about 6 or 7 years younger than me.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So we're gonna do about 3 or 4. You can do, depending on the size of the bananas. I mean, we have 3 here, but they're nice and brown. You wanna make sure they're aged a little bit too, and they're not just, green a little bit.
Yeah.
So after we do all this mashing, you wanna get them really small. You don't want any big chunks in there. So while Marcy's finishing mashing those, we're gonna add all the ingredients together in one bowl, and then we're gonna spray our little pans. We like these tiny ones because they're perfect for people. If they don't wanna buy a whole big loaf, they can put them in these smaller ones. We wanna grease it real good. For one batch, we'll do 4 of these loaf pans. We're gonna bake that in a 350 oven for about an hour.
Yeah.
Or less, depending on the size of pan you put it in. And then, as that's baking, you're gonna go ahead and heat your butter, your brown sugar, and what else we have in here? And our milk.
Yes, and that's what's really gonna make it.
Yeah, this is
praline
amazing.
Frosting, yeah.
And you're gonna heat it so that it bubbles and simmers. It's gonna have a little syrupy kind of texture. Looks like honey.
Yes.
Then you're gonna add your 1 cup of pecans. After you add your cup of pecans, you're gonna stir that. You're gonna put that on top of your baked banana nut bread.
Yes.
And then after you put it on top of that, you're gonna put it under the broiler for about 3 or 4 minutes, but you wanna watch it really closely.
Yeah, because it'll burn.
Yeah.
You gotta be really careful.
I burned a batch last week.
Oh, you did?
I'd throw it away. Then you're gonna throw that on there, broil it, and here is the end result. Look at all that gooey, beautiful.
And it's wonderful.
So nice. It's kind of slow here today.
It is.
I don't have very many people here to taste test. Let's see if we can get one of these camera crew guys to come over here. Nick, come on over here, bud.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Why don't you go ahead and try this, Nick, see what you think. I don't know, his mama might have a really good
I
recipe.
know.
What do you think? Is this as good as your mama's?
That might beat my mama's.
Aw.
Really?
Don't tell her.
Okay, we won't. Well, there you have it, folks. Even the young guys like it. Here at MarcyJo's, there's our banana nut bread with praline topping, where we're changing lives.
One bite at a time.